Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves a Scrap, and I'm joining in today on celebrating 5,000 subscribers for Ginger's Corner and Friends with a massive giveaway hop that Ginger is coordinating. We had to create a layout from scraps, so we were only allowed to use what was on our desk, what was in our piles, and create a layout. So I went through my piles and I pulled together all the things that I thought that might come together for this layout. So if it's been cut, if it's been used, it's a scrap. So here we go. These are the things that I've pulled together out of my scrap pile. And trust me, when you scrap a lot, you've got a big pile of scraps. So this is a great way of using them up. And Ginger, who is very, very big on Facebook and here on YouTube, always does her projects from scraps to a product. And her big one is scraps to embellishment. So if you haven't checked out Ginger's Facebook group, you need to. It's called Ginger's Corner and Friends, and there we swap out embellishments made from our scraps. Today this layout is to celebrate Ginger's success, and it is all from scraps, as you can see. A piece of paper where I've already cut into and I have put to the side because I may use it again. Now I'm using it again. Even right down to this cardstock, which will be my base and my frame. You can see I've cut out hexagons from that one, but I'm going to use that now as my base for this layout. Alright, first of all I'm going to gut it just like I would normally gut my cardstock. I'm going to take off the excess here. And the reason I do that is so that I've got a clean base to start, and I'm also going to use some of that cardstock later on in the layout. Okay, so I'll pull it all together, and that's the fun part about scraps, because we all have them on our desk and we all have them building up and building up. So every now and then it's good to go through the pile, put like ones together, put colours together, and see what you can come up with. So today I challenged myself to come up with a layout that I could put into my daughter's cruise album for her cruise with her grandmother, my mum. They were on the Queen Elizabeth and they sailed down to Tasmania and Melbourne. And this one here today is when they've arrived in Melbourne. So I'm just lining up my scraps at the moment. I'm taking off my 1/4 inch like I normally would if there was a full sheet of paper, because this is how I am framing my work today. And you can just see that that cardboard is perfectly fine as a frame because nobody sees what's on the back. Taking out my punch, I'm just going to punch a decorative edge across here to add a little bit of interest to that layout. As you can see, scraps have two sides most times, and it's about choosing the side that's going to best work for you. And today, the spot side. And that's got a double meaning because my daughter, who is photographed in this layout, is very, very much attracted to dots, and went for a very long period in her life where everything had to have dots on it. So if it had dots, she'd wear it. So it's sort of a sweet reminder of who she is. So this big large square, I've got marble on this side. It's got a marble effect, and on the back side it's got a gold and apricot colour. And I didn't want too much of the gold showing. I like the marble effect, but I've just roughed it up around the edges with the Distresser tool. And that's going to be in the centre of my layout. From there, I'm going to now build the layout, and I'm going to use all of these pieces to add interest and layering to the photograph behind it. So I've got this wood panel, and I love wood grain. Everybody who has watched anything of my videos, and please do, you'll know that I like wood grain. And so this was a nice piece that I was using for another layout, and it's left over, and now it's finding its way here. I always keep those strips, don't throw them away. They've got great quotes, they've got great this and that, and they're perfect scraps that you can use to pull a layout together later on down the track. So I'm mounting my photos on my new photo favourite size, which is 3.5 by 5. I love the fact that you get the full photo and you can put them on the page, and they still front and centre of the layout but don't overcrowd the layout. So I'm roughing up the edges of these two because it's a little bit flat at the moment on this layout with that marble background. So I'm going to add a little bit more colour, bring the apricot-y peachy colour out from the top piece of Myers Garden. And I know what that one is because that was my favourite piece of paper. And here we go. I'm putting it, just straightening it up. So I've got my roughed edges, I've got my multi-layers, and now I can put down my photos. But I'm still not happy with it. And I'm going to make it just a little bit more detailed, and I'm going to build a fishtail banner. And this I'm going to run down the side of this layout here. Now, I didn't have it long enough, so there's a cheats way of doing it. You just cut it in half, closer to where you want it to be, and then you will have a gap, but you cover that up with your embellishments, and that's the best thing about it. There are no mistakes in scrapbooking, there's just different, and you just layer it up and colour it. So from this pink fresh paper here, I'm just cutting out some tags that I can use for here, and I just cut that little one off the side, which fits perfectly into that tuck spot there, and the title there, which is going to be my title for the layout, and it's seize the day. And so I'm going to just add a little bit more, because, you know, my philosophy, add more until you're happy with the layout. So I'm going to tuck in a banner here, but with a little bit more of this scrap, using it up, and to balance it out, I'm going to put another banner across the top, and that should make the layout all tied together. And because they're on the deck of the ship, the banners are sort of pretty appropriate for that layout. They were in Melbourne. This is them on the deck of the Queen Elizabeth, and they were overlooking the city skyline before they ventured off into the city for the day. So this here, see, the banner tags from one side to the other, and it makes that arrival feel of the layout. I went through my stash and I found these really antique looking white brads, so they're a bit shabby chicky, and they tied in beautifully with the colours on this layout. So I'm using these rosette flowers that I've had from a previous layout packet, and now that packet is just about being used. I've got one little bit left. I cut out these hinges from that fussy cut sheet that I'd already used before, and they fit nicely, and I've got these flowers from the Myers garden, which I'm just building my clusters with. Using a Goldie Colour Nouveau Drop, my favourite. Everybody knows I use Nouveaus to every layout. I am adding in my clusters of 3 so that I create the triangle for the eye to roam the page, and the Nouveaus drag your eyes across. In the banners here, instead of using brads, which I would regularly do, I'm just going to Nouveau Drop and tie it in with the colours of the layout, so that this layout is all in the peaches and the golds, and it has the monotones of the whites and the black underneath. So I'm really happy with how this came together. It all came from scraps. There was not one full piece of paper in here, and yeah, that's how easy it is to pull a layout together. Don't forget to check out Ginger's Corner on Facebook. It is a massive group. Check out Ginger on YouTube. She does some amazing videos showing you how to use your scraps and build great layouts, great embellishments, and not keep that pile building, but actually utilising. So she's got a giveaway coordinated with this subscriber hop today, so check it out today by watching her video, and all the others who are tagging along in the hop. I'll have all of their names and links in the description box below. This is my layout. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Every single piece of it is from a scrap piece of paper, and it just goes to show that they're not scraps, they're still beautiful. You can use them, you can create and make beautiful things. And I'm very happy that you joined me today on this great 5,000 subscriber for Ginger Hop. And I'm Kathy from Kathy Loves Scrap. Find me on Instagram, and thanks for watching. Happy scrapping till next time.